Hey everyone, it's Carrie. How are you? I think we're live. Are we going live? Looks like it. Okay, so today is day 4 of the 5-day Feng Shui reboot, and I'm going to get started on that in just a second. For those of you who have jumped into the group recently and don't really know who I am, my name is Carrie Miller. I'm the founder of Feng Shui Pathways and author of the book Feels Better, Flows Better, Feng Shui for Inspired Living. I work with people who understand that their surroundings have an impact on them, but they aren't necessarily sure how to optimize it so that it is supporting them and energizing them. And so using Feng Shui and sometimes some other modalities like Reiki and energy healing and aromatherapy, I help them create spaces that are warm and welcoming and that they love being in, and most importantly that are energetically uplifting instead of distracting and depleting. And I really do believe that spaces can impact your overall day and the overall flow of your life. If you have ever been in a space that kind of makes you feel heavy and down and depressed, you've probably experienced that, and I'm sure you've also been in a really uplifting and energizing space. But there's no reason why your homes and the places where you work in and spend a lot of your time in can't be that uplifting energy. It will make you feel better. It will help you have more energy to put into all the areas of your life. So that's why I do these things. That's why I have the group and why I talk about Feng Shui. And this 5-day Feng Shui reboot, we're looking at 5 different areas of the home where you can just kind of, I'm trying to get you to take a different look at the space and rethink it a little bit and see how you can make some simple shifts to change the energy so that it's better for you. So today we're talking about kitchens, and these are really important areas. They're not just functional spaces in the house. There is an energy that flows through the kitchen which impacts some major areas of your life. So it definitely impacts health. We're going to talk about that. It definitely impacts the flow of your day. Most of us kind of start out in the kitchen, at least with a cup of coffee, and end our day, prepping a meal. So really, if how the flow of your day is going can be impacted by how the energy flow is in that space. And a lot of people don't recognize this, but according to Feng Shui, kitchens are a really huge symbol of wealth and abundance, and they should reflect that. They should reflect that back at you, so that you are, feeling abundant and feeling full and resourceful. And I don't know, I've been in a lot of kitchens that don't necessarily feel that way, but there's just simple shifts to make to really bring it to that point. So, let's think about this in a little bit more detail. The kitchen's where you store all your food, right? It's where you prep all your food. It's where somebody is in the kitchen prepping food. So, the energy that's in the room, has a big impact on the food itself as it's being prepared. The energy in the room has a big impact on the chef or the person preparing the food. And so, and their energy, their personal energy is also going into making that meal or putting things together. So, in another lifetime, I actually studied holistic medicine, and there was a lot about healthy eating and preparing foods. And I remember one of my instructors always said that she would talk about vitamins that were in foods, but she said that the one key element that was always in food that you really couldn't measure was vitamin L, or love, the amount of love that's put into the food that you're eating as it's been prepared. And it really is an energy that you can infuse into the foods that you're eating and really adjust, really shift the level of energy that you're able to get from the food that you're intaking. So, think about how much, how the energy of the space is around you as you're prepping food, how you're feeling as you're prepping food, and how you can raise that vibration up so that hi Linda, how are you? So that you can, infuse that into the meals that you are consuming and feeding to your family. And really, you have the ability to even increase the energy, give them more vitamins, more nutrition, more nutrients, more sustenance, just because of the fact that the energy is really good in the space and nourishing you and nourishing the food as it's all being prepared and eaten. So that's the health side of things. You know, we talked a little bit about the flow. Most of us spend a lot of time in the kitchen. It's usually the hub of the house, kind of ends up being the place where everybody goes to, you know, even in a party. I was just at a client's house a couple months ago, and they were saying, you know, they have a small kitchen, but lots of areas where other people can be, but every time they have a party, everybody ends up in the kitchen, and it's kind of impossible to move around. So it's a flow thing. When your kitchen has good flow, you're able to get things done faster, prepare things easier, get on with your day faster, leave the house in a much better attitude, and have more energy to take with you, rather than, you know, wasting it on frustration and sort of tripping through your morning or tripping through your evening routine. So the kitchen is really important in that way. And then I mentioned that kitchens are a huge symbol of wealth and abundance. You know, and if you think about it, food is really the most basic form of richness and prosperity. You know, if you can't buy food, you're probably in a pretty lacking situation, and you know that of course will affect your energy and the energy you're able to input into all the areas of your life. If you're not eating, you're not being nourished enough to really give all of yourself to all the different parts of life. So food really is that abundance, that richness and prosperity. Think about how much of your paycheck goes into the grocery store and just gets dropped right there. So it really is a symbol of wealth. And if you can start looking at the food that you have in your kitchen as abundance, as prosperity, as something to be really grateful for, and something to really be appreciated as you're preparing it and serving it, it really changes the energy of the space. And another thing to think about is the appliances, like the refrigerator and the stove. Those are, a century ago, not everybody had those vital tools in their kitchen. So the people that did have those stoves and refrigerators and other appliances were really, hi Judith, how are you? They were really considered wealthy and prosperous and successful. So most of us have those now, and so we want to appreciate them and show them love and really honor the fact that we do have that, again, another symbol right there of prosperity. So health-wise and wealth-wise, you want to make sure that your kitchen is it's filled with foods that really do vitalize you and support the health and the well-being and the lifestyle that you want to create for yourself. A lot of us struggle with that. So, you can always take a look at what's in your kitchen and see if it really is supporting you, and remove stuff from the cabinets that isn't supporting that goal. That's always one of the first things I tell you to do whenever you're trying to change what you're eating anyway. And then, wealth-wise, just take a look in your kitchen and just sit and feel, is this making me feel rich and abundant? Am I showing off and appreciating and honoring the abundance that's here in this kitchen? That's really sometimes that's just a perception switch, and changing how you see what you have. And that changes the energy of the space instantly, because you're suddenly seeing it differently and you're giving it new energy. So you really want to fill the kitchen with as much high vibe stuff as you can. So, healthy foods, fresh flowers, lots of love, lots of gathering energy, people coming together. It's all ways to lift up the energy of your kitchen. I would love, if you guys have any thoughts about your kitchen and how it is now, go ahead and throw them in the comments. I'd love to hear what you are noticing about your kitchen, what some of this information changes in your thought process about your own kitchen. I wanted to talk also about my current offer, which is I'm available. I have 2 openings right now for one-on-one clients, one opening for the summer and one into early fall. And I want you to know that I do those virtually. So I know there are people kind of from all over the place watching now. I do, if I'm local, or if clients are local, I do make local appointments to tour the home and do an assessment. But technology is a wonderful thing these days, and it allows me to do assessments much further beyond my typical reach. So it's really powerful to have an assessment done virtually. We usually use Zoom, so it's a video tour. We talk, we discuss, we walk through the space. You might wonder about whether or not that's powerful enough, because energy is a lot of times that's something that you have to feel. But I've been doing this for years, and it really is powerful, and it's different. There's a different way of sensing the energy and sensing what's flowing and what's out of place, but it's still really powerful. And you can try this at home. If you take a picture of a room, take a look at a room and kind of notice what you can, and then take a picture of it, and then kind of step away for a little while, and then later on, maybe when you're not in the space, take a look at that picture again. I guarantee you will notice things about that picture that you didn't notice when you were standing in the space. So these virtual tours and assessments are really powerful. They're just as powerful, and they're really, really fun to do. And so if you are interested in doing one-on-one work with me, now's the time. Honestly, I have these 2 spaces available. I'm rebranding and repackaging things over the next couple of weeks, and so I will have new pricing. So pricing is as good as it's ever going to be right now. And I know lots of you have been watching, maybe secretly wishing that you could do an assessment, but maybe not having fully committed yet. Many of you have been reaching out and asking questions about your own situation. I try to answer those as best I can, but I got to be honest, without really knowing your full situation, knowing your full space and your layout and what's going on for you and what your goals are and what your challenges are, it's really hard to give you a tried and true answer that will work for you every time. But these assessments give you that, and we are able to really come up with a plan and a goal and some homework assignments that allow you personally to make changes that are just for you. So, I could list, several of my blogs have tips listed on what to do for kitchen spaces, how to uplift the energy, and those are all generalized Feng Shui tips that work for most people. But to really see the powerful effects of Feng Shui at work, it's a very personalized system, and we get really clear on what it is that you want and what you want to create, and take a look at what's going on for you and make a personalized plan. So if you have been thinking about this is the time. Jump on board. You can get one of those last 2 appointments and get started with Feng Shui, and really see the powerful process it can be when you have somebody there to help guide you through the process. Make sure that you're focusing in the right areas, and also be there with you as the energy shifts to guide you through the changes and make sure that the results you're getting are what you want. So I'd love to hear about your kitchens today. Go back into the group, into the post, and tell me what you're seeing. And I'm going to post the link to my calendar. You can set up a discovery call with me if you're interested in a consultation. I would love to connect with you and talk to you about Feng Shui and which one of my packages would be best for your situation. That's all. Happy Thursday, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Bye.